Australia, Ty Kennelly and Tommy Walsh. Jack O'Connor had to find a new goalkeeper, and here he is, Brendan Keeley from Kilcommon, who made his championship debut against Tipperary. The Kingdom's full backline is very experienced, with Mark O'Shea, Tommy Griffin and Tom O'Sullivan. Mike McCarthy's presence and performance at centre-back is crucial, but he gets wonderful assistance from his wingmen, Tomas O'Shea and Killian Young. In the middle of the field, all-star midfielder 09, Seamus Scanlon, is joined by Kieran O'Rahilly's Micheál Quirk, and how this pairing perform will be most interesting. Last year's Footballer of the Year, Paul Galvin, picked up an injury in training, so last year's All-Ireland winning captain, Darren O'Sullivan, is named at 10. Declan O'Sullivan and Donncha Walsh complete the half-forward line. But the Kerry attack really revolves around two men, Colm the Gooch Cooper and Kieran Star Donaghy, and they are joined by Brian Sheehan, who, by the way, scored 2 goals and 4 points against Tipperary. Kevin McStay.
Well, Marty put Kieran Donaghy's height and his fielding ability to one side for a second, and zone in on his vision and his passing ability by hand and the way he brings others into play, especially as you mentioned that ace marksman himself, Colm Cooper. Now together, if they perform, if they're on the ball today, I think they're unstoppable as a double act. Really the modern day terrible twins.
The Rebels from Cork start 10 of the team that faced the Kingdom of Kerry in last September's All-Ireland football final. Goalkeeper Alan Quirk is number 1 on the top 10 list, and he's also one of 3 changes from the team that hammered Mayo in the league final. Graham Canty returns from a shoulder injury and is named at full back. Jamie O'Sullivan, who played 3 against Mayo, is now at 4 and is a championship debutant. All-star full-back 09, Michael Shields, is interestingly named at centre-back, with Noel O'Leary and Paddy Cassan on the wings. Kenturk's Aidan Walsh is named from the start in a championship match for the first time in his career and joins Alan O'Connor in that crucial sector. Cork manager Conor Coonahan has moved Pierce O'Neill to the wing. So impressive has been the form of Donncha O'Connor at 11 during the league. Paddy Kelly completes the half-forward line. Daniel Goulding and Paul Kerrigan are familiar faces to us all in the full forward line, but it is a big, big day for 19-year-old Kieran Sheehan, who appears for his first senior championship match for his county this afternoon.
Well, we did say after the league that Conor Coonahan's most difficult task might well be selecting his best 15, and Michael Shields at 6 is a big call, Marty, but it's really his favourite position. He'll attempt to get fierce tight on Declan O'Sullivan and use that strength and mobility to command the vital position.
It's a beautiful afternoon here in Fitzgerald Stadium, Killarney, with temperatures around 18-19 degrees. We're in a minute's silence here in Fitzgerald Stadium for Robert Toomey from County Kerry, who died tragically in a car accident in Australia. For Tom O'Connor, also from Kerry, treasurer of the Munster score. And Father Declan Hennessy, parish priest in Mallow, long-serving member of the Cork County Board. We pass on our sympathies to all those families that have recently suffered a bereavement. And so the scene is set. 40,000 in Fitzgerald Stadium, Killarney, with the McGillicuddy Weeks in the background. And here's a Raw Naveen. A wonderful atmosphere in this most beautiful town in the Kingdom of Kerry. Cork won the toss and are going to be playing from left to right. There's no breeze here. It's very, very warm. It's going to be a real test for the fitness and stamina of these two fine teams. Match referee has come all the way from Crossmaglen Rangers in County Armagh. Pádraig Hughes is the man in black and grey. He's 6 years now a top-class referee. This is his very first Munster Championship match. Cork haven't won in Killarney since 1995. You're about to watch on the Sunday Game Live the Battle of the Champions. Munster and League champions against the All-Ireland champions. On the field at the moment, 8 of the starting 15 in the All-Star selection 2009. And if Paul Galvin and John Miskela come on, there will be 10 All-Stars from 2009 on the pitch. This is Kerry, centre-half forward, Declan O'Sullivan. Trying to get by. There's a little bit of afters between himself and Michael Shields. Referee Porrick Hughes has spotted it, blown his whistle. O'Sullivan is on the ground. Let's see what happened here after the pass. There's a little bit of a slap back there from Michael Shields.
A bit more than a slap back, Marty. He's going to be very lucky he got away with it. But he made a big connection.
Medical team in to make sure that Declan O'Sullivan is able to continue. I'm sure he will be. He was the first to captain a team from Coloston and Skellige down in Cahersiveen to win the Munster Colleges. And guess who his manager was? Jack O'Connor.
Yeah, but the problem now for Shields is, you know, first minute of the game, he's gone carrying a yellow. How good is he to carry that yellow for 70 minutes, especially on a danger man like Sullivan?
Let's just see this again. Watch Declan O'Sullivan as well.
Yeah,
there was a punch from O'Sullivan as well.
Yeah, well, the trailing left hand from Shields did most of the damage. He's lucky, Marty.
I think if we look at it again, you'll see Declan O'Sullivan also threw a punch, so perhaps Declan was a bit fortunate as well. This is Brian Sheehan from the St Mary's Club in Cahersiveen. Made his very first appearance in a Kerry senior jersey 5 years ago. Hits it well. It's gliding over that crossbar. It's the opening score in this Munster Championship semi-final.
Beautiful strike. Well, we know all about this. He does this all the time. You know, I didn't even comment as he was running up because we expect him to get them. Look at that for a kick. Fabulous.
There is something still, I know it's a bit traditional, a bit historic, about a footballer taking a free from off the ground, isn't it?
It looks better, it is better, it's more reliable, and he can hit them better than most.
Alan Quirk's kick out comes over towards Seamus Scanlon. Seamus seemed to lunge in and perhaps touch the ball on the ground as well. Porrick Hughes wants the free to be taken from where the foul was committed. Comes down towards Aidan Walsh. Big day for him. Has proven himself at under 21 level. Back to Paddy Kassan from Clyde Rovers. Was there when Larry Tompkins and indeed Billy Morgan was manager, but has a second lease of life since Conor Cunningham took over the top job. Ball inside to Colm Cooper. He's looking for the star. Here's Kieran Donaghy. Lays it back to O'Sullivan. Oh, classy. Very classy. Declan O'Sullivan laying down a marker to his opponent as well.
Look at the passing.
He's in form.
The passing, Marty, is fantastic, and the movement, as you were describing it, fellas moving off their defenders. Look at this for an execution. Brilliant. Donncha Walsh very good too with the inlet pass from the right wing.
Interestingly, Alan Quirk changes the direction of the kick out. To see where they may gain some bit of superiority. Kerry going forward. Here comes Darren O'Sullivan. Inside is Colm Cooper. 2 Cork players around him. One of them is Paddy Kelly. Other is Jamie O'Sullivan. Overcarried. Free out to Cork. Good work by Patrick Kelly from Ballincollig. I think he prefers to be called Patrick Kelly rather than Paddy. Free quickly taken is not advantageous to the Rebels. They recover well. And so they begin the process. Graham Canton, so vital to the Leesiders over the last number of years. Kieran Sheehan, rambling a long way from goal. Number 14 on his back. Shields is looking around for somebody. Back to Canty, back to Shields. A little bit apprehensive, a bit tentative in the opening stages by Cork. And they still haven't gained any ground after, what, about 5 or 6 passes? Aidan Walsh, gone forward slightly. Cork have yet to pass the Kerry 45-metre line. Ray Kerry from Clyde Rovers. Aidan Walsh. Almost 5 minutes played and still haven't got past the 45. They've done it now. And then they lose possession. Simple ball given away. They should have delivered a lot faster. Graham Canty is too near, and there's going to be an extra 13 metres.
It's interesting to look down at the full forward position because it's Paddy Kazan or Paddy Kazan rather is picking up Kieran Donaghy. I wouldn't have bought that one. Maybe he's only marking him while Canty's up the field. We'll see.
Yes, Canty did go on a bit of a tour of Fitzgerald Stadium. It's aimed at Donaghy. Gone back there's Ray Kerry. Good call in between himself and goalkeeper Alan Quirk. Out this side if he needs him is Pierce O'Neill. This is O'Neill. All-Star centre forward 2009. Graham Canty. All-Star centre back 2009. To a newcomer, Aidan Walsh. Gifted at both football and indeed hurling. It loses possession. That's twice it has happened. Too easily given away to the All-Ireland champions. Look who's all alone. Front of the stand, yes, it's Kieran Donaghy. Having his first shot, cutting it across towards Brian Sheehan, goes off the Kerry man, wide ball. I know it's only 6 minutes, Kevin, but you just sense Kerry have settled far better.
Yeah, Cork going very lateral early on. You know, throwing the ball across with no penetration whatsoever. They haven't settled at all. And of course, those 2 quick points have certainly settled the Kerry men.
Alan Quirk missed most of the, in fact all of the National Football League with injury. Did play against Mayo in the last round before the league final. Noel O'Leary, his battles with Paul Galvin have now gained legendary status, and I'm sure that it'll be interesting if Paul Galvin comes off the substitute bench. Will it be Noel O'Leary that'll be marking him? Corey Hughes is showing a yellow card for Darren O'Sullivan. So 1 yellow card for Kerry, 1 for Cork. Donnacha O'Connor has blossomed during the National Football League since emerging from the corners to centre forward. Paddy Kazan putting it in towards Donnacha O'Connor. Mike McCarthy with it. O'Connor gets by 1 challenge. Tries to go through 3. Gets it back for Paddy Kazan. Goes for the shot. But it's not good football out of Cork, Kevin. It's very, very tentative. They seem to be very nervous, and they don't really know what to do when the ball comes for the Kerry half-back line. Yeah, and a lot of it epitomised by their young midfielder, Aidan Walsh, who, as you said, 2 turnovers on his first 2 possessions. Always coming back the way with the ball for a midfielder. Should be powering on, trying to break a tackle, make an extra man. But I say very lateral, very tentative. Kick out for Brendan Keeley. Comes down towards Pierce O'Neill. There's a blatant push in the back. Free is quickly taken. Alan O'Connor to Aidan Walsh, looking around. There's nobody though available, and that's 3 times that has happened to Aidan Walsh, where the ball has been given away. Donnacha Walsh being held by Paddy Kazan. Free for Tomás O'Shea. Today, making a little bit of history. His 71st championship appearance. He goes straight to number 1 on the number of appearances. Good ball in, there's the coach. They've got to watch his left foot. Here it comes, there's a point. Kerry have found their rhythm. They've gained that momentum when once they get it, it's very hard to put them off it. Colm Cooper in his 56th championship appearance for his county. Kick out by Alan Quirk. Tomás O'Shea was fouling, so it's going to be a free for the Leesiders.
And just looking down the field, yeah, Canty has gone back on Donaghy. That was obviously a ploy to have once he breaks up the field. Kazan covers in behind him.
Patrick Kelly down towards Paul Kerrigan. Referee felt there was a push by Mark O'Shea. I have my doubts. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I tell you, Mark O'Shea isn't the cornerback that offers up frees too easy. He's just put in the left hand to tackle him. That looks perfect to me. And descent now.
And big brother Tomas isn't too happy about the decision either. And for a little bit of dissent, there's the punishment of an extra 13 metres.
It's not so O'Shea's style to give away fouls in the danger zone. He knows how crucial they are. He'll be very disciplined that way.
Daniel Goulding, 4 Munster under-21 medals, plus an All-Ireland under-21. First free of the afternoon in Killarney, goes straight between the posts. It's a long time though, Kevin, in terms of championship football, that you have to wait, particularly when you're the Munster and League champions. You have to wait for 10 minutes for a point.
Yeah, well, they just haven't settled. And in fairness to Kerry, they took them on immediately from the throw and attacked. And it's a huge Cork crowd. All they want is something to shout about.
Seamus Scanlon adds it, and away comes Mike McCarthy from centre half back, steadying himself and popping it in. Oh, a good save by Alan Quirk. Kieran Donaghy was sniffing around, but the goalkeeper did really well. Not a good pass. Pierce O'Neill, lucky enough that he was 6'5". Fouled, well, an attempted foul.
A definite foul. He passed it to himself. Referee missed it.
And he got away with it. Pierce O'Neill takes the free quickly. Barry's Donegal O'Connor. Ahada and Bally Desmond represented on the team. Good ball inside. Ferris Kerrigan has the right foot. Great block down by Mark O'Shea. Comes across first Kieran Sheehan. There was a boot up. Has to be a free. Dead straight in front of the post. This time there's no dissent from Kerry. They acknowledge that that was a foul. And it's a chance for Cork to reduce Kerry's lead.
Well, now this is a handy one for Cork, all coming back from the foul committed. You know, pass the ball to himself, must hit a defender, must hit the ground. That's a brilliant save, fantastic save by Cork. But this is going to be a point. It's going to count for a technical error missed earlier.
Donegal O'Connor has really blossomed over the last 5 years. An All-Ireland junior medalist in 2005. He's in pursuit of an All-Ireland senior medal in 2010. Graduating from top of the left to leading the attack on the 40. He's a good footballer, this lad.
And the position he has, I think, is a great decision by Conor Coon. Number 11 is where he can really blossom. He's not needing all the, the 1-2 quick 3 balls that you need as a corner man. He's out the field, getting on ball. Better for him all round.
Fine catch on Micheál Quirk. Getting a chance to prove his football ability now that the great Darragh O'Shea has retired. Micheál Quirk, really great leap. Came down awkwardly, as you can see, and suffered the consequences.
Yeah, I think he got a bang in the head as he was going for it. It's there's nothing easy out there. A lot of bodies, and if you want that ball, you have to go for it strong. And that's what he did.
He won a lot of plaudits after the All-Ireland. No, it was the Munster Club final, and Micheál Quirk kept everybody calm when O'Reilly's lost that Munster final in controversial circumstances. Micheál Quirk, true sportsman, gentleman, and getting his chance. 6'7" from Kieran O'Reilly's in Tralee.
I think he's got a blood. He must have a blood, Marty, yeah.
On the field for the moment is Anthony Marr. He's also an up-and-coming star that we saw through the league. Kieran Donaghy gives it back. There's a chance for him to make an immediate impact into the chest of Alan Quirk. And he starts it out with a Cork centre half back, Michael Shields. Kieran Sheehan. Tommy Griffin with it. Still Sheehan. Flicks it back first, Pierce O'Neill. Aidan Walsh to his immediate left. Goes into the middle, Alan O'Connor. Back out first, Michael Shields. They need the ball to be delivered in. A lot faster, more efficient than this. Paul Kerrigan, little jig. Mark O'Shea chases after him. Still Kerrigan, Nemo Rangers man! It got a slight deflection and it's got out for a 45.
Great work by O'Shea. He got caught on the outside. Look at the dive. Now that's commitment. He saved it for a 45. Still should be punished though.
Good work by Paul Kerrigan, and O'Shea did really well, didn't he?
Yeah, terrific work. And they're the small things. I saw scores last night where defenders were almost there if they only threw their bodies across the ball. That's the key. Get level and throw the body across it. Got to get something on it.
Donnacha O'Connor going to take the 45. Just by the way, looking at the flags around Fitzgerald Stadium, just a slight summer breeze favouring Kerry in this first half. There's O'Connor's 45, it's swinging left and wide. Cork have now registered 2 wides in the opening 15 minutes. Brendan Keeley from Kilcommon. Kerry minor goalkeeper back in 2003. Donnacha O'Connor getting there ahead of Mike McCarthy. Holding the play, unsure, hesitant about what option is the best. Good work here by Paddy Kelly, or Patrick Kelly. He's on the 20, heading towards the 13, onto the left boot, and that is going to raise a white flag. Struggled to make the Cork under-21 team a few years ago, has worked hard, came on against Limerick in 2008, and has now established himself in the starting 15 for the Rebels.
Yeah, good strong running from Patrick Kelly there. Shook off his marker, I think it was Anthony Marr. Got free from Kirk's back on again, but it's 3-all. They've levelled it and they've settled.
Level for the first time after 16 minutes. Keeley's kick out was intended to reach Tomas O'Shea. Interesting to see Tomas wearing 5 but operating a left half back. A deliberate strategy by Jack O'Connor to Mark Allen O'Connor. Now that is a real beauty. Daniel Goulding gets his 2nd point in this Munster Championship clash. Well, watch this. This is worth analysing. Simple football, knew exactly what it was going to do. Killarney Cathedral in the background and the ball flying between the posts.
And then it could have flew on downtown as well. It's such a bomb, he hits it. And the interesting thing is Thomas Sullivan knows he's strong on the left. He offers it up to him, but he still has the accuracy and the ability. What a kick.
Cork are beginning to find their rhythm. Certainly for the first 10 minutes looked a bit shaky. And now they're delivering better quality ball. Not great, by the way, but it's faster. Kerrigan getting it across towards Daniel Goulding. Going through the centre on an overlap was Pierce O'Neill. Tomas O'Shea anticipated that. It goes past Donnacha O'Connor, willing to take on Mark O'Shea. Again, O'Shea tries to get a block down. Was there a touch? The umpire says no. Mark O'Shea seems to have picked up an injury in an effort to block that.
And I'd say it's a finger injury too, which would indicate he did get a hand on it. We'll see in a sec.
Well, it's not like Mark O'Shea to act up, I can assure you.
No, maybe it's
and
shoulder
seems
actually.
To be in trouble. Yeah, it is the shoulder, Kevin.
Shoulder.
He's in his 55th championship appearance today. Footballer of the Year in 2007, and you can see why he won here. Doing enough to put Donnacha O'Connor off. But it was a shoulder. I'm pretty sure it was the way he landed as he tried to block the shot.
But even though he didn't get the touch, it was a correct decision by the officials. Look at the effort he puts in putting off the kicker by jumping across his shot line. It does affect the shot, and it's a huge commitment, and that's why he's picked up the injury.
Jack O'Connor and Ger O'Keefe. As Conor Coonahan decides to watch this from the stand. And I've always thought managers should do this because you get a better perspective. Very hard to judge a match accurately from along the sideline.
Agreed, but you miss on the sideline, the manager getting behind you, egging you on, pushing you on to greater limits or greater efforts, and that is missed. Some managers like to be down there in the middle. It's like a championship match that they're playing in themselves.
And can you actually hear the manager?
No, so not a single word, I'd say.
There you go. End of argument, Kevin McStay. Ball comes down for his Graham Canty. Gets there ahead of Donaghy. Bantry Bluesman, just back from injury. Not too sure where Graham is going, in the wrong direction. Referee says it's a foul by Kieran Donaghy. And away comes Paddy Cassan. Ray Kerry coming forward from the right corner back position. Tries to get by this initial challenge. Donnacha Walsh was having none of it. Free to Cork.
These guys are all being noted. People think that you're not noted anymore. It's just they don't show you the black card anymore, the black book as it were. But these all count and they end up in yellows if you keep at it.
Michael Shields fires Aidan Walsh. Pierce O'Neill. Patrick Kelly. Almost 12 minutes since Kerry scored. As the game, in terms of dominance, seems to have changed to the league and Munster champions, just slightly. Brendan Keeley provides an option. Conceded 2 goals against Tipperary, but still performed quite well between the posts. Seamus Scanlon from Cork, 30-year-old. First championship game was against Limerick all of 8 years ago. There he is again. Not a good ball to Mike McCarthy. He had to work hard to retain possession. Here comes Thomas Sullivan. Man of the match in the All-Ireland final last September. Laying it off for Micheál Quirk. They look for Kieran Donaghy. Graham Canty keeping him company. Sending it low for Declan O'Sullivan as Donaghy goes for the return. O'Sullivan with a little bit of space. Thought about initially having a pop. Goes at the second time round. The danger here is Colm Cooper knocked away. Good play by Jamie O'Sullivan. Down for a centre half forward, Donegal O'Connor. Again, stepping up a gear. Paddy Cassar. In the centre is Aidan Walsh. They now need to kick from here. And they do. Good ball. In for Paul Kerrigan. Can he get inside the cover? It's 1 against 2. It's Kerrigan. Brilliantly blocked down. Mark O'Shea, full credit. Once again. What a cornerback. Seamus Scanlon. Kieran Donaghy coming out around midfield. Back to Scanlon. Did well to gather the ball into his arms. Tomas O'Shea. In the centre, Killian Young. Over this side, unmarked, is Kieran Donaghy. Coming across to tackle him as Michael Shields. An effort from Donaghy is just slightly to the left and wide. That's Kerry's second wide of the game. Mark O'Shea, 2 block downs. Here's the second. Paul Kerrigan was facing him and Keeley. And look at this. O'Shea, 10 out of 10.
That's an art form in itself, you know, but it takes bravery and commitment. And he's given us is that the third one already? 20 minutes gone and 3 big interventions and stopped scores.
All-star 3 times. Shaq O'Connor has guided his county to 2 All-Ireland titles. It's his second season back. Alan Quirk recovered from that groin injury during the National Football League. Up comes Aidan Walsh, knocked down by Seamus Scanlon. Somehow Scanlon got his paws in it. Lays it off, referee has blown his whistle. Man from Crossmaglen Rangers felt the Kerry midfielder was being fouled, so there's a free again for Kerry.
Exact
Once
same
more,
position.
Brian Sheehan.
Exact same position, I'd say, Marty, is it? Or very close to it. Imagine playing against a team that, you know, every time you foul from anywhere from the midfield in, you're in danger of conceding a point.
And so much, indeed, our own pre-match build-up was about Colm Cooper and Kieran Donaghy. Sheehan is just as good. Isn't that lovely to watch? 2 points. All of them 45s. Look at that. I think that's just beautiful to watch.
And that's, it has to be said, more than 45 metres. As the crow flies, that's, you know, you're touching 50 there, but he's stroking it so beautifully and lots of distance.
Level for the second time in Fitzgerald Stadium after 24 minutes. Kick out is aimed at Alan O'Connor. Cleverly knocking it down for Michael Shields. Kieran Sheehan. Unlucky not to gather it. Ray Kerry is working hard at number 2. Laying it out for Paddy Cassar. Coming in to challenge Micheál Quirk. Cassar did well to get by the initial challenge and tackle. Goes back for Aidan Walsh. And his effort is rather poor. Mark O'Shea goes out to gather it. There's no such thing as letting the ball go wide. That's very good play by Mark O'Shea. Now the pass from Brendan Keeley wasn't the best. Seamus Scanlon did well to recover, but I think if there's going to be a bit of criticism, is that the goalkeeper giving the ball away to a player that was clearly under pressure.
Yeah, put him under pressure immediately.
Yellow card for Kieran Sheehan. 3 yellow cards in this match so far after 25 minutes. Michael Shields and Kieran Sheehan of Cork, and Darren O'Sullivan of Kerry. Goalkeeper now suffers from that hesitation that we were talking about Cork in the opening 10 minutes. He's now conceded possession in the sense that it's going to be a throw ball on the 20-metre line. Big men go up for it. One of them is Pierce O'Neill. Kerry's Paul Kerrigan, and he taps it over the bar. Cork back in front, but really it shouldn't have been. And goalkeeper Brendan Keeley will be disappointed that his hesitation cost his team a rather easy score.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of a wobble at the moment. Poor pass just before it. And here we go again with another short one.
Aimed at it, Seamus Scanlon. Making these passes to players that are being tightly marked, and there's always a chance of conceding possession, as did Donegal Watch. Free to Cork. It's funny though, Kevin, isn't it? Because Kerry were so fluid in the opening 10 minutes, but now Cork have slowly got their rhythm together and they're playing a little bit more composed football. Yep. Goulding to Paddy Cassad. Going for the score. It's a great effort from left half back Paddy Cassad. He had the opportunity because the space was there, and he hit it sweetly. Very good score.
Yeah, we say about these that there's a great skill shooting it and slicing it from the outside of the right boot, but in fact there's so many players doing it nowadays that they must be practicing it, and it's a terrific kick. Nobody came on to him and said let's have a pop over the bar.
Kick out comes into the middle. Hands go up, but nobody really touches it. Kieran Donaghy is out there. He's the one that's the last off the ground. Ball into the space, and to the onrushing Patrick Kelly. Twisting and turning. Mick McCarthy staying with him. Lays it off first. Pierce O'Neill. O'Neill. That's huge height. It's dropping over the bar. It's his very first point in the championship. It's a vital one.
It was a bit unorthodox. It was a midfielder's kick. It stayed up for a day or two, but it importantly landed right between the posts. He's delighted with himself.
The momentum has definitely swung Cork's way. That's 3 points in 3 minutes for the Rebels. Loose ball, picked up, high challenge. Killian Young is the player that's down. Donegal O'Connor could be the player that needs a little word in his ear from the match referee. That's what's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure Pádraig Hughes is going to show the Cork centre-half forward a yellow card.
Yep.
There's a picture that tells the story.
Caught him high, and I think in the minute he did, he knew he was going straight to yellow.
Little push by Noel O'Leary. Went unnoticed by the referee. Colm Cooper. Kieran Donaghy is waiting around the edge of the square. Going forward. I would have done credit to Ronan O'Gara or Brian O'Driscoll. And immediately, what's just underneath the surface, that little bit of tension has now overflowed just a little bit. Referee, there's a little bit of absence with Kieran Donaghy, and the referee saw this.
What the referee was trying to do is get the play to move on. He invited the Cork man to run 13 metres and take the free, and then Kieran Donaghy comes across him. That's yellow, I think.
Donaghy is trying to explain to the referee, Pádraig Hughes, but I can assure you, he has his mind made up. It's a yellow card. And I agree with you, Kevin. The referee was trying to get play to move on, stop the arguing, concentrate on football.
Correct.
But there was that afterwards. And Kieran Donaghy suffered as a result of it. Michael Shields, Aidan Walsh. Has to go back for his Graham Canty. He's fouled by Colm Cooper. Graham Canty to take it. Goes for the long ball option. Killian Young goes back to gather. Mark O'Shea. Tom O'Sullivan. Two very, very impressive corner backs. Over first Brian Sheehan. Kieran Donaghy wants the long ball. It's being delivered, but with a bit of power, with a bit of accuracy. Magnificent score by Brian Sheehan. He's adding substantially to the dynamic duo of the Gooch and Starr.
Yeah, see, these are wonderful scores, Marty. You know, we see him as a free taker, I suppose. That's his primary skill. But these are bombs. Like, he's firing these from distance with magnificent accuracy on the run. This is, you know, top class stuff.
It's football. Football, football. And it's a joy to watch when you get long-range efforts sailing over the crossbar from Brian Sheehan and indeed Paddy Cassan earlier. First to the ball is the rule. Micheál Quirk implements it fairly and squarely. Sideline ball to Cork. Michael Shields. Paddy Cassan was coming back to give him an option. Goes forward instead. Kerry well behind the ball, but so too are Cork. Perhaps here, Jamie O'Sullivan will create an opportunity. Down to his, well, same surname, different Christian name, Tom O'Sullivan, is being fouled by Daniel Goulden. Referee has blown his whistle. I don't think Tom heard it, and that's going to be a free out for the Kingdom. Tomas O'Shea, Footballer of the Year 2004. Donica Walsh from Kerman. Back to O'Shea. In the centre, Declan O'Sullivan. Hefty shoulder on Aidan Walsh. Both players continue on. Most noticeably, Brian Sheehan. The crowd warming now to his performances at top of the left. Giving it inside to Donica Walsh, creating the opportunity. He should try and put this one over. Dropping in, Alan Quirk did well. That's two very good saves by the Cork goalkeeper. I know he's a big, tall lad, 6'3", but certainly his handling is vital.
So is Kieran Donaghy, and he's right beside him on both of them. Excellent handling. Referee gave him the benefit of the doubt, gave him the free out.
And he was under pressure. Although he did step behind the line, but I'm pretty sure the ball wasn't. Ray Kerry, back to Canty. Alan Quirk has come off his goal line, but Canty takes responsibility. Kieran Donaghy coming in to challenge. There's a wall of green and gold jerseys ahead of Canty, and it puts Noel O'Leary under severe pressure from Colin Cooper. Canty overfires Ray Kerry. Cork changed the direction of play. Down fires Paddy Cassan. Down this wing. Back to Kerry again. They need to deliver the ball long. Far more efficiently and incisively. Was that a throw? Crowd of Fitzgerald Stadium, at least the Kerry fans thought so. Aidan Walsh looks very nervous. Ball handling is not his usual standard, but he is a good footballer, I can assure you. Backfires Ray Kerry. Under pressure from Donaghy. Jamie O'Sullivan tries to provide an overlap. Puts it into the pathway of Jamie O'Sullivan from Bishopstown. Missed the under-21 All-Ireland final with a broken hand last year. Under pressure from Seamus Scanlon. Hurrying forward. The free is to Ray Kerry and to Cork. Kerry players protest. There's an extra 13 metres for descent, and the Cork want to take it quickly. Patrick Kelly floats it in towards Paul Kerrigan. Did well. Mark O'Shea right beside him. Still Kerrigan getting inside. He uses the fist and he puts it over the bar. Paul Kerrigan with his second point of the match. And when you consider the performance of right corner back Mark O'Shea in this opening half, still Paul Kerrigan has managed to squeeze 2 points out of the Gaeltacht man.
He's asked him plenty of questions, and again shows him outside and then comes back inside, and Mark O'Shea won't be happy with himself giving him that danger area. That could have been a goal if there was someone on his left.
Kick out by Keelan. Gathered by Micheál Quirk. 2 minutes of additional time to be added on. Colin Cooper to Donaghy. Anybody home? Declan O'Sullivan to Donaghy. So wide.
The Gooch is down, Marty, and he got a very late hit. And if the referee spotted that, he gives a little pass on inside. Watch it here. Bang, Canty takes him out.
Well, you could see that Cullum actually banged his head on the ground there when landing. And that is what has caused the problem, actually.
Yeah. Now, of course, there's momentum involved. Don't get me wrong. But the point of making it was a big hit.
Yeah, it was a big hit. And obviously the Kerry medical team are a little bit concerned about Cullum Cooper. There's the push, and it was a heavy hit, and he did unfortunately hit the ground as well. So it was a double momentum.
Well, let's talk about the miss. You know, there is a goal chance. They worked it well, did everything just about right, but didn't put it on target. Worked the opening well, took the keeper out of it. Should have slipped it in, didn't happen.
First real goal opportunity from the first half. Graham Canty has been shown a yellow card for that challenge on Cullum Cooper. It means Cork have now 4 players on yellows. Graham Canty, Michael Shields, Donald O'Connor and Kieran Sheehan. Straight down the middle. Michael Shields. Jamie O'Sullivan, son of Seamus O'Sullivan from Dohenys in Cork, that played back in the 70s and 80s. And he was a good footballer as well. Referee Pádraig Hughes blows his whistle, gives a free to Kerry. Cullum Cooper wanted the quick ball into Kieran Donaghy. Brian Sheehan, in the form he's in, I think rightly takes responsibility. It's a different angle.
Yeah, it's the wrong side of the field for him. Big distance now as well here. He'll put it close though, and you have Donaghy at the end of it. He can get a flick to it. He's the tallest man in around there.
He concentrates. Here comes the run, the kick. He's hitting, magnificent. He really is. That is 4 points, 3 of them from frees and 1 from play, and all of them out around the 45. You have to be impressed.
Well, just how difficult is that free? I mean, most free takers wouldn't even thinking of scoring that. If you'd say, I'll get this in around the penalty spot, maybe the small rectangle, and he puts it over with plenty to spare on it.
Well, the referee blows the half-time whistle. The star for the first half has to be Brian Sheehan, who has scored 4 points, 3 of them from frees, all of them out around 45, and the point from play was truly fantastic. Seamus Scanlon and Aidan Walsh have had an interesting battle, and in the first half the sides have been level, with Donald O'Connor scoring 1 point from a free. It's been a most interesting Munster Championship semi-final at Fitzgerald Stadium, and at half-time it's the league and Munster champions that lead by 2. Cork 8 points, Kerry 6. Back to you, Michael.
Well, Marty, we didn't expect too much to be in it in this game, and there certainly isn't. Let's just get a quick word from Pat Spillane. Brian Sheehan scoring 4 points from frees. Pat, it's an excellent performance. As Marty said, you've only scored 2 from play.
That's right. I mean, we got 3 points in the first 8 minutes and got 3 points in the next 30 minutes. Kerry started well, there was purpose and there was some lovely kick passing, some lovely variety in the play. And then Cork took over. They took over around the middle of the field. They dominated the middle third. And their forwards have the legs on the Kerry backs. Remember, this is the Kerry defence, 5 of them over 30. And they're caught a little bit for pace. 4 Cork forwards scored in that half. Cork 2 points ahead and marginally the better team. I can't understand with Kerry. When they were dominating because they were moving the ball quick and fast, particularly kick pass, and then they got bogged down into this old slow hand passing game. And when Kerry do hand passing badly, they're as bad as any county. So it's an interesting game. It's still in the balance.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. We are going to take a short break. More from the panel after that. Welcome back again to the Sunday game. Half-time then in Killarney, and it is, of course, Kerry 5 points, Cork 8 points, and as we said before the break, Colin Rourke, you know, it is in the balance still, there's no doubt about that, but Cork have had the better of that first half.
Yeah, largely because they dominated midfield for the last 20 minutes at the half. But it's been a poor game overall, as far as I'm concerned. And the amount of short passing that both defences have done over and back across the pitch has been as bad as in any other game this year. Normally you see Kerry giving a couple of short passes and somebody then coming surging at pace and taking it on the burst. They haven't done that. Cork have grown into the game, but the standard of football is poor. And you know, the Kerry seem to have a little bit up front, but they can't get the ball inside to Donaghy. And their half-forward line hasn't really functioned, so I would expect to see Paul Galvin coming on pretty quickly. And if himself and Noel O'Leary meet again, I suppose Semtex would be the sort of word that you would describe that encounter.
I suppose, Joe, in fairness, in games like this, you know, between Cork and Kerry, there's always going to be that kind of tension in it, or has been of late anyway.
Well, there is, but, you know, Kerry look as if they're very much in Munster Championship mode. You know, they don't have that. You know, when you see Kerry coming into Croke Park, their body language is different. You know, everything's done at electric speed, and they're not at that level today. And, I think, you know, one of the problems they have is that they're two wing half forwards. I mean, young Walsh has been anonymous, and Darren O'Sullivan's a natural solo runner. He puts his head down and solo run. You know, Donaghy needs the ball, as it is. He's been getting the ball sort of coming 30, 40 metres out before it actually comes to him. He needs it on the edge of the square. But what Cork have done in this game is what they've done throughout the league. They've just dismantled good teams in midfield. I mean, they came up to Celtic Park. I don't think Derry won a kick-out in the first half. And they've done it again today with Kerry. I counted at 12 kick-outs that Cork won to Kerry's 3 or 4. And the best way, I suppose, to deal with a team as stylish as Kerry is to simply starve them of the ball. And there are umpteen examples of this happening throughout the first half. And I mean, even when they don't actually win the primary catch, they scrap very hard for it on the deck. And they've just kept the ball off Kerry, which is why Cooper and Donaghy have been increasingly peripheral figures in the game. They are very, very, very powerful in there, and that's what Pat Gilroy experienced when he said after the Dublin-Cork match, they just blew us away out there. And just didn't let them have the ball.
That's even allowing for the fact that the Cork midfielder, Aidan Walsh, started off the game as if he thought he was in a bit of a kick-around, dispossessed the first 3 times, and has largely been sauntering over and back, soloing the ball. But, you know, the dominance of the Cork half-back line has been, for me, the most pronounced thing, particularly Paddy Cassan, who has surged forward and kicked a great point as well.
The ball away, isn't it?
Cork carry a 2-point lead at half-time, Pat. They had a goal chance as well. And also, what was a feature of this goal chance was Mark O'Shea's defending, where he's taken Kerry out of a difficult situation more than once in the half.
It was great defending. And we saw something similar, remember, last night from Charlie Harrison as well. And it's a skill that's not coached that much at all. And it's a skill that requires a certain amount of bravery, but it's all about getting your 2 hands together and getting down on the kicking foot. And this is absolutely textbook cornerback defending, 2 hands down on the foot. And now, even though Kerrigan has scored 2 points, I think Kerrigan is more a natural wing forward, and he's much better attacking the ball with pace in front of him. But 2 things, can I just get back to the kick-outs? 2 things about it. First of all, Keely's kick-outs are contributing to Cork's dominance. And number 2, down through the years, the player who sucked up all that dirty ball in the middle third was Paul Galvin. There's no Paul Galvin to suck up that dirty ball there today. And number 3, that Kerry half-forward line now are all ball carriers. They all run with the ball. So they're not guys who will deliver quick, long ball, which is required into Donaghy and Cooper.
They did get a goal chance, Kerry.
They did, and they should have taken it too. You know, there was very little possession going in. And again, we have a long ball in. And Cooper, again, very brave. Canty takes him out of it. And, you know, Sheehan had a chance, gives it back to Donaghy. He should have stuck it in the net. We see here...
but it's the delicacy of the touch, Colin.
Yeah, but, like, you know,
vision.
when forwards get the ball in that sort of position, they really should score. I know that the Cork defenders and Ray Carey comes across him, but, you know, that should have been a goal.
Yeah, it's great composure. It's very unselfish play, but like Colin says, it should have been a goal.
Oh, yeah.
It should. I suppose the bounce of the ball just took it past the post there in that situation. Joe, you were talking to us here in the studio about the Kerry's defence, the kind of blanket defence which you wanted to make a point about.
Yeah, we'll just make the point, you know, that Kerry, you know, have been doing this. They've worked on it very hard during Jack O'Connor's time. And that's what slowed Cork's attack up here. That Kerry have blocked up that central column very effectively. You know, Brian Sheehan's spent a lot of time inside his own half. You know, so, I mean, they're not doing anything that other teams aren't doing, you know. I mean, there's a sort of a myth that Kerry somehow play a very pure brand of football. The difference between Kerry and teams like Armagh, for example, is Kerry make it look good because they've got Starr and Cooper and footballers like that. But you can see that they're very effectively blocking up that central column and making it very, very difficult to get quick ball into Cork's danger men. So that even whenever they are in possession here. You know, it's reminiscent of sort of Tyrone 03, Tyrone 05.
Joe, it's just an exact replica of the last 20 minutes of last year's All-Ireland, where Kerry shut up shop, went back into blanket defence, invited Cork to come on, take them on, and they hadn't the composure.
OK, second half of Cork versus Kerry after the break. See you in a few minutes.
With your passion, no one can stop you.
Welcome back again to the Sunday game. Just a reminder, it is Cork 8 points, Kerry 6 points at half-time in this Munster Championship match down in Killarney. Pat was talking about the paucity of scores from a Kerry point of view from play in that first half. Kerry have been getting scores from play all the way back to their half-back line.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of...
Not a lot of scores, no, but scores nonetheless.
No, but for Kerry in the second half, they're going to have to make a switch midfield. Michael Quick hasn't got the pace in that big pitch for 70 minutes. They need Paul Gallivan on, and they need to move the ball quick, faster, and via the foot. But they need to bring Donaghy and the Gooch into it. And Donaghy and the Gooch are starved of possession.
Well, they are, and that's the problem, Colin O'Rourke. I mean, these are two footballers who need others, if you like, and they're well able to work themselves, but they need others, as Pat said, to get the ball to them. They can't be out around the middle of the field looking for it.
Yeah, and Declan O'Sullivan, who started off well, faded out of the game. So, like, Kerry looked as if in the first 10 minutes they could play as they liked, and then when Cork got to grips with them and it made it more of a battle, a lot of the really classy Kerry players went out of the ball. But the problem for Kerry, for me, was that they weren't able to get the ball quickly out of their defence. That drive forward, maybe it's age catching up, but, we traditionally have seen images of Paddy or Tomás O'Shea driving forward with this unusual solo run of his and kicking over a point to lift Kerry. And yet in that whole first half, he was non-existent. And even Mark O'Shea, and he had a couple of brilliant blocks, but Paul Kerrigan beat him for pace on a couple of occasions, and that's the reason, obviously, why Cork have decided to isolate Kerrigan on O'Shea inside. Maybe they think there's a goal in him.
Also, Joe, I mean, the point has been made through the winter campaign, through the league campaign. We know the players that Kerry have lost through that period of time. And, of course, Paul Galvin being out today as well. I mean, as we were saying here to Pat on a previous occasion, it isn't a bottomless well of footballers they have.
The two most important footballers that Kerry had last year were Tommy Walsh and Tadhg Kennelly. Tommy in particular was a game breaker in the All-Ireland semi-final and again in the final. I mean, and you can't just lose players like that and hope to sort of pick up where you've left off.
Yeah. You see Pat Anthony Maher there in the shot he's in from Michael Quirk.
Yes, and
inevitable. It's inevitable.
Maher it was inevitable. Quirk wasn't at the race at all. Maybe he was affected by the blow. Maher is a good, solid, honest footballer. Is he senior championship standard? I don't think so. I really don't rate him that highly. He's honest and he's workmanlike, but he's not senior championship.
Well, maybe a bit of honest hard work is needed for Kerry at the moment,
and a bit of prayer as well.
No, they need to, if they don't break the Cork midfield stranglehold, they're going to fall further behind here. They need to break that stranglehold. They need to get in possession in the areas where they can kick the ball into Star, because I mean he's not going to be able to work miracles unless they can sort of set him up now and again. And it's not going to take much, because the Cork full back line is definitely vulnerable.
It's advantage Cork at half-time, but as we all know, you never write Kerry off at half-time in any match. Let's go back again to Fitzgerald Stadium for the second half. Cork and Kerry, Kevin McStay and Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Michael. Certainly we're looking forward to the second half. Kerry have already announced one change.
It's easy. With your passion, no one can stop you.
Welcome back again to the Sunday game. Just a reminder, it is Cork 8 points, Kerry 6 points at half-time in this Munster Championship match down in Killarney. Pat was talking about the paucity of scores from a Kerry point of view from play in that first half. Kerry have been getting scores from play all the way back to their half-back line.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of...
Not a lot of scores, no, but scores nonetheless.
No, but for Kerry in the second half, they're going to have to make a switch midfield. Michael Quick hasn't got the pace in that big pitch for 70 minutes. They need Paul Gallivan on, and they need to move the ball quick, faster, and via the foot. But they need to bring Donaghy and the Gooch into it. And Donaghy and the Gooch are starved of possession.
Well, they are, and that's the problem, Colin O'Rourke. I mean, these are two footballers who need others, if you like, and they're well able to work themselves, but they need others, as Pat said, to get the ball to them. They can't be out around the middle of the field looking for it.
Yeah, and Declan O'Sullivan, who started off well, faded out of the game. So, like, Kerry looked as if in the first 10 minutes they could play as they liked, and then when Cork got to grips with them and it made it more of a battle, a lot of the really classy Kerry players went out of the ball. But the problem for Kerry, for me, was that they weren't able to get the ball quickly out of their defence. You know, that drive forward, maybe it's age catching up, but, you know, we traditionally have seen images of Paddy or Tomás O'Shea driving forward with this unusual solo run of his and kicking over a point to lift Kerry. And yet in that whole first half, he was non-existent. And even Mark O'Shea, and he had a couple of brilliant blocks, but Paul Kerrigan beat him for pace on a couple of occasions, and that's the reason, obviously, why Cork have decided to isolate Kerrigan on O'Shea inside. Maybe they think there's a goal in him.
Also, Joe, I mean, you know, the point has been made through the winter campaign, through the league campaign. We know the players that Kerry have lost through that period of time. And, of course, Paul Galvin being out today as well. I mean, as we were saying here to Pat on a previous occasion, it isn't a bottomless well of footballers they have.
The two most important footballers that Kerry had last year were Tommy Walsh and Tadhg Kennelly. You know, Tommy in particular was a game breaker in the All-Ireland semi-final and again in the final. I mean, and you can't just lose players like that and hope to sort of pick up where you've left off.
Yeah. You see Pat Anthony Maher there in the shot he's in from Micheál Quirke.
Yes, and
inevitable. It's inevitable.
Maher it was inevitable. Quirke wasn't at the race at all. Maybe he was affected by the blow. Maher is a good, solid, honest footballer. Is he senior championship standard? I don't think so. I really don't rate him that highly. He's honest and he's workmanlike, but he's not senior championship.
Well, maybe a bit of honest hard work is needed for Kerry at the moment,
and a bit of prayer as well.
No, they need to, if they don't break the Cork midfield stranglehold, they're going to fall further behind here. They need to break that stranglehold. They need to get in possession in areas where they can kick the ball into Star, because I mean he's not going to be able to work miracles unless they can sort of set him up now and again. And they don't. It's not going to take much because the Cork full back line is definitely vulnerable.
It's advantage Cork at half-time, but as we all know, you never write Kerry off at half-time in any match. Let's go back again to Fitzgerald Stadium for the second half. Cork and Kerry, Kevin McStay and Marty Morrissey.
Thank you very much, Michael. Certainly we're looking forward to the second half. Kerry have already announced one change, with Anthony Marr coming on at midfield instead of Micheál Quirke. So whether that's a tactical switch or whether it is because of that injury when Micheál Quirke got a knock in the first half, I'm not too sure. Cork look unchanged with Alan O'Connor and Aidan Walsh in midfield. Everybody seems to be in their proper positions as the substitutes take their places. There's Anthony Marr. He's a newcomer. I saw him in the National Football League last year as well as this year. He picked up an injury and he's a very good footballer. I can assure you, you might see him making his championship debut today, but you're going to see a lot more of Anthony Marr. 3 draws in Killarney since 2002. All replays being won by Cork and Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Let's see what happens in the second half. Aidan Walsh dispossessed by Anthony Marr, with Kerry playing against a summer breeze for the next 35 minutes. Down fires Colm Cooper from also Shea. Back fires Anthony Marr. Goes for the long ball, aimed hard. Dropping from the clouds, down towards Kieran Donaghy. Knocked down by Graham Canty. Kieran Donaghy rubs the back of his head as Patrick Kelly gives it long, very long, down towards Kerrigan. Nice little layoff to Donnacha O'Connor. Kerrigan wants it back quickly. Kerrigan, nice little dummy inside. He's good from this distance. He hits it well. Hits it beautifully. And Paul Kerrigan gets his 3rd point in this Munster semi-final. All of them from play.
Well, you call that perfect. I didn't think he was going to shoot from that distance. I thought he was going to carry it in, maybe engineer a free for himself. Beautiful swing with the left, splits the post. Perfect start.
Of course, his dad, Jimmy Kerrigan, played for years for Nemo Rangers and Cork. And a great little wing back as well. Patrick Kelly. Alan O'Connor has gone inside. Has to go back together. He has the time to turn. Is it good? It's quality. Alan O'Connor. Within a minute and a half, the Leesiders have scored 2 very quick points. From a 2-point advantage, it's now 4 for the Rebels.
And you got to work it back to the Anthony Marr turnover. He has the ball. He's dispossessed too easily. Didn't concentrate on minding that ball. Everyone is precious. And it's worked in very quickly to Alan O'Connor. Great finish.
He comes from a beautiful little club called St. Columbus near Bantry in Glengarriff. Kill is the name of the place. Lovely little spot on a beautiful day like today. I'm sure if they're not here, they're watching the Sunday game live. Hope you're enjoying the action. It's the repeat of the All-Ireland final. It's Cork against Kerry for the 20th occasion since in this decade that they've met in championship football. That included 2 All-Ireland finals, 5 semi-finals, 6 Munster finals and 6 semi-finals, including replays. And here they're at it again. Tom O'Sullivan, Seamus Scanlon taking responsibility ahead of Tomás O'Shea. Down for his Declan O'Sullivan. Was very impressive in the opening few minutes, but we haven't seen that much of Declan since. Holds off the challenge of Michael Shields. Seamus Scanlon, Faris Killian Young, former Young Footballer of the Year from Reynard, just outside Cahersiveen. Ball needs to be delivered. Back to Killian Young again. And he's given a little bit of space this time. Dropping it in towards Kieran Donaghy. The overlap is from Donncha Walsh. He's through. Can he beat Alan Quirk? Good save by the keeper. But it should have been a goal for Kerry. That should have been tucked away neatly into the bottom left or right-hand corner. Instead, it's Quirk that makes the save. Brilliant catch by Kieran Sheehan. They think highly of him on the banks of the Lee. You can see why. Former under-21 All-Ireland medalist. He brings 4 Kerry defenders with him. Lays it off to Goulding. It's a poor effort. Here comes Keeley, the goalkeeper. Did well. Feeds Tom O'Sullivan. Seamus Scanlon available. Over this side is Anthony Marr. To his left is Tomás O'Shea. He goes for the right, and it's Marr. It goes past midfield. About to be tackled by Alan O'Connor. Nice control. Needs to lay it off now. Donncha Walsh makes himself available. Still recovering from that save that Alan Quirk made. I'm sure Walsh feels he should have tucked it away. Here's Donaghy getting there ahead of Michael Shields, who's now gone back to market. Ray Carey comes in to challenge. Brian Sheehan outfires Tomás O'Shea. Hit it on the right of the bounce. It's a beauty. You know he was going to do it. The minute he got it, it was the outside of the boot, and in his 71st championship appearance for the green and gold, it's Tomás O'Shea.
Much better tempo now to the Kerry attack. A lot more purpose. This is a great goal chance. He does poorly here, Donncha Walsh. He hits it straight at the keeper. Okay, we credit the keeper. But I mean, he's got to put that left or right. It's a goal. Hits it off his knee.
Former international rules goalkeeper Alan Quirk. All-Star nominee 06. Picked up by Donncha Walsh again. Lays it off for his Declan O'Sullivan. There was a little jersey pulled by Noel O'Leary. And Declan O'Sullivan was not kicking the free from where the foul was committed. And Pádraig Hughes is explaining the details to Declan.
He's having a good game, Pádraig Hughes. I'm watching him closely since throwing, and okay, 1 or 2 small little things, but there's so much happening here on a big Munster Championship day, and he's right on top of it.
Garoda Konova wants to have a word with the referee as well, just off camera at the moment, and I think Pádraig Hughes is now going down to have a word with his umpires.
It's the Cork guy down, isn't it? With a Cork type jersey or bib down behind the goal.
Cleared from behind the goals.
Yeah.
Throw in just inside the Kerry half of the field. It bobbles back into the middle of the pitch. Referee blows his whistle, gives a free to Kerry. Tomás O'Shea to Darren O'Sullivan. Great speed, gone from second into third gear, trying to get past Noel O'Leary. Thou shalt not pass, but thou shalt get a free. Just the man in black and grey. Noel O'Leary definitely fouled him there. Still Darren O'Sullivan kept going. The second time round the referee said enough is enough.
Well earned. Did it the hard way. Take it on Noel O'Leary. You're not going to get that in too handy. Fouled him certainly the first time. Don't believe he fouled him the second time, but it's a tap over.
Second point of the second half for Kerry, and Brian Sheehan's 5th point of the game. 2 points between the teams, just the way it was at the break. Great atmosphere here in Fitzgerald Stadium, Killarney. 40,000 packed in to this repeat of the All-Ireland final since last September. No Darragh O'Shea, no Devon Murphy, no Ty Kennelly or Tommy Walsh, and yet it's pretty even between these two great Munster rivals. Paddy Kassan has to give it back to the St. Finbarr's man from the south side of Cork City, Michael Shields. Noel O'Leary from Kilnamartyra gets it down for his Kieran Sheehan. Held by Darren O'Sullivan. Free for Cork, and the free is not taken from the right position, and it has to go back to where it was.
But he's been consistent at least. I personally, I don't have a big problem with a player being a couple of metres away from where the free or the foul occurred. He should get the advantage, the guy that was fouled.
Anthony Marr did well. Seamus Scanlon, hefty challenge from Paul Kerrigan, more accidental than anything else. Tommy Griffin. Tomas O'Shea rolls cross country, slips it through, didn't quite work out for Killian Young. Touched on the ground by Tomas O'Shea. It should have been Aidan Walsh who did it initially, and it's going to be a free for Kerry. O'Shea's kick drops in. Gathered here by Brian Sheehan. Referee feels that the corner forward was being fouled by both Ray Kerry and Paddy Kassan, and there's another chance here for Kerry to reduce down Cork's lead.
Good take, he worked hard for it, and they didn't have any chance to play the ball at all.
Colm Cooper appeared first in a Kerry senior jersey against Limerick in 2002. Before that, it was in the Division 2 final against Laois. Scored a goal within 5 minutes of coming on, and he has continued to score for the last 8 years. 27-year-old from Dr. Crooks, which is just at the back of the goals where Brendan Keeley presently resides. Kick out, straight down the middle. Well gathered by Aidan Walsh.
Coming into his own now, Marty, Aidan Walsh. Yeah.
He is a good footballer. Anyway, we'll continue on with Michael Shields. I saw him at under-21s and highly impressed. Shields gives it down for his Paul Kerrigan. Mark O'Shea with him. He's already scored 3 points, and yet Mark O'Shea has played so well. Not falling for the jinking and the dancing. Back outside, all the way back, in fact, for his Pierce O'Neill. Paddy Kassan, eager to touch the football, eager to have a goal from way out the field, and that is his second point of the game. Paddy Kassan showing the forwards where the goalposts are at the Dr. Crooks end of this wonderful arena.
Well, these are inspirational scores, Marty. This is the second one, you know, going nowhere, it takes responsibility. He knows the minute he's hit that, there's great contact on it, there's distance, all he's working is accuracy, and he knows it's sailing.
Seamus Scanlon and Aidan Walsh, as Walsh gets more into the game. Picked up here by Pierce O'Neill. Same club as Conor Coonahan from Ahada. And hello to Vera Sisk, a great GA woman from Ahada who's watching this match. We wish her well as Kieran Sheehan. Effort is blocked by Tommy Griffin. Rushing out onto it is Tom O'Sullivan. Looking sharp and well. Despite 3 All-Stars in his back pocket, he wants more. Sullivan is fouled by Daniel Goulding, and that's going to be a free for the Kingdom.
How do you fit an All-Star award into your back pocket, Marty?
Well, he has them on the cabinet. He has them somewhere, Kevin. Mike McCarthy is trying to tell the referee that Pierce O'Neill is in his way. Darren O'Sullivan gets a hand to it. Here's Paddy Kassan going back to do his primary job of the left half-back defending. In the centre is Michael Shields. Shields opts not to give it to Graham Canty in the overlap. Goes back to Ray Kerry. All-Ireland under-21 medalist when they beat Laois in the final 2 years ago. Retaining possession. This sort of football, I think, drives us all mad. The goalposts are down here to our left. Graham Canty. Noel O'Leary. Michael Shields lets a run on for his Jamie O'Sullivan. Bishopstown. Noel O'Leary. Frustrating football for the viewers and for everybody else. Michael Shields tries to put it onto the path of Paddy Cassan, and away he goes, chased by Donncha Walsh and Declan O'Sullivan. He's going for 3 in a row, and he's got it. Enough of the messing about. Paddy Cassan knows where the goalposts are, down to our left, down towards Dr. Crooks. Very impressive. Look at him go past the 35, heading towards the 20, makes an angle and kicks it straight over the black spot.
Yeah, he was so patient, and this time kicks it over his left, Marty, under massive pressure, on the run. Terrific score. Is there a yellow going there for Tommy Griffin? I think there is, Marty.
Yeah, I think there is too. There is.
Yeah.
A yellow card for Tommy Griffin. Tommy was trying to explain. Didn't quite work. Kerry have introduced David Moran, son of Ogie Moran. Paddy Cassan is on your television screen at the moment. He just picked up an injury. Dr. Con Murphy. Happy birthday, Dr. Con. He's going to be 61 years of age tomorrow. So I'm sure if Cork win, there'll be lots of celebrations tonight and tomorrow down in Cork. But can Cork win this? They have a 3-point advantage with 48 minutes played. Here's David Moran, son of Ogie, great midfielder, comes centre forward. And also Noel O'Leary is being spoken to by the referee. And there's another yellow card. Obviously, Pádraig Hughes has spotted all of these more or less off the ball, allowed the play to continue, and is now doing his homework and cleaning everything up.
And that's tidy. That is tidy work, absolutely.
Knocking it down and gathering it is Patrick Kelly. Into the space goes Aidan Walsh, being chased by Tommy Griffin. Can he score from here? Not quite.
Well, he's staying at it. That's the one thing I'll say about Aidan Walsh. He had a stinker of an opening 10 minutes, a lot of turnovers, very nervous looking, and far too casual, I would say, as well. But he's really worked himself back into it. Shot selection there, not the greatest idea in the world, perhaps, but he's kept at it. He hasn't turned his back or put the head down.
He's only 19 years of age, Kevin. He won't be 20 till September.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable they're able to play at this level at 19 years of age. It's terrific effort.
John Miskell, I just saw on our monitor on our television screens here, all-star wing back last year. And Cork have stepped up again. Ball into the space. Good covering by Tommy Griffin. Back here too is Mark O'Shea. Ball is apparently picked off the ground. Is the referee. I'm pretty sure Mark O'Shea is going to disagree. Let's watch closely. Was this off the ground?
I don't think so. I think it just, there was a bit of daylight, but it was very, very tight. Mark O'Shea is not happy.
John Miskell is on, and gone off is Noel O'Leary. And obviously you just saw Noel O'Leary get a yellow card, and I would imagine Conor Coonan and Jim Nolan and Gerard Sullivan, the management team, decided to whip Noel O'Leary off and put John Miskell on. Daniel Goulding has just scored his 3rd point of the match and his 2nd from a free. Well, Miskell is a good footballer. He's proven his worth over the last couple of years, both as a wing forward and as a wing back, but he certainly blossomed. He had a really good year last season, part of the Cork team that got to that All-Ireland final. Here comes Darren O'Sullivan. Miskell with him. Pops it in towards the Gooch or the Star. It's Colin Cooper. Referee has blown his whistle and he's given a free.
He was only near him there, actually. I'm pretty sure he just picked that up, and as he picked it up, he fell over himself. Don't think there was any contact there at all, Marty.
I'm not good at lip reading, but I think Ray Kerry said you can't be serious. So let's have a look at this again.
Gooch is happy enough with things, I'd say.
Brian Sheehan. It's a simple tap over for him. 6 points for Brian Sheehan. 10 for Kerry. Now watch this again. Is that a free?
Just as he was breaking away, in fairness, he was held back initially, and then there was a bit of contact on the leg. I'm doing the best I can for the Gooch here. He seemed to tumble.
I think you're being generous, Kevin.
I think he tumbled himself.
Kick out by Alan Quirk is placed over at the far side. Garoda Canova is assertive, both as a linesman and indeed as a referee. indicating clearly it's a Leaside ball. Pierce O'Neill. Michael Shields. Just like Dr. Con Murphy celebrating a birthday tomorrow, it's his 24th birthday on Tuesday. Very young, lots of these footballers. Paul Kerrigan. Showing a little bit of soccer skill. Willing to take on Mark O'Shea. There's a jersey pull, there's a kick. It's dropping in and it's wide. But great harassment by Mark O'Shea.
Yeah, this is where I would differ with the referee in that, okay, there's no advantage where a guy's after coming from the corner, he's losing energy, he's coming into a shooting position, he's pulled back, he's obviously fouled, and he's given the advantage. There's no advantage there of a tired player just at the end of his run. Should have given the free in.
Jack O'Connor and Eamon Fitzmaurice. Will they decide to perhaps introduce Paul Galvin? Is he fit enough? It looked in the warm-up he certainly was. And his presence on the field would be, well, a massive boost to the Kingdom. Pierce O'Neill. Leaving it in high to Donnacha O'Connor. There's nobody home, Donnacha, except the Kerry goalkeeper, Brendan Keeley. David Moore. Same club as Micheál Quirk. Kieran O'Reilly's in Tralee. There's a double bounce. Referee spotted it. Not a good start for young David Moore.
We might see that again. I think you're absolutely correct. Looked like a double to me. Well, we only saw the second bounce. I think there was one before that, but pretty sure the referee got that one right.
It looked it from here anyway. 35,782 is the official attendance from the Munster Council, as Donnacha O'Connor goes for his second point of the match.
This is a big one. This is a big kick.
Can he do what Brian Sheehan has been doing? Hits it sweetly again, straight over the crossbar. There's the change. Brother-in-laws, Eamon Fitzmaurice and Paul Galvin. Teammates, great friends. And now as a Kerry selector with Jack O'Connor and Ger O'Keefe, it could be the time to bring in Paul Galvin. Number 18, Footballer of the Year, 2009, is being introduced. The man that's going off is the All-Ireland winning captain of last year. You'd have to be impressed with the CV of this particular Kerry team.
Decent sub, no doubt about that.
Can he make a difference? Can he swing this particular Munster Championship clash? Aidan Walsh. Loading it in very, very high. Healy's hands are good and safe. Lays it off as David Moore. Under pressure from Patrick Kelly. Moore returns the compliment by bringing his keeper back into the action. Here's Paul Galvin. Injured his ankle in training here in Fitzgerald Stadium. It's a warm round of applause from his Kerry fans. Donnacha Walsh. Foul was by Aidan Walsh. And again, players are moving forward. And Pádraig Hughes is implementing the rules as he sees it, which is there in black and white, by the way, in the rule book. But it is a little bit frustrating when it stops up the movement, isn't it, Kevin?
And remember, it's Donnacha Walsh that's been fouled, so whatever little advantage that's accruing should go to him. You know, there was 2 meters, I think he was ahead of the position there.
Declan O'Sullivan. Paul Galvin. In towards Colm Cooper. Kieran Donaghy wants it lower high. There's the overlap. It's there in the shape of Brian Sheehan. Hefty shoulder. That really hurt, I would imagine. Back out far is O'Shea, and that's over the bar. Tomas O'Shea with his second point of the game. And it's 3 points again between Kerry and Cork. Hefty challenge on Brian Sheehan. Gooch gathered the loose ball. Back to O'Shea.
Did the O'Shea's ever miss him out here? They're kicking down the ears all the time. They've joined attacks and the ball is recycled out to them, or they're shooting on their own. Their accuracy as 2 defenders is unbelievable.
Tomas O'Shea made his first championship appearance in the green and gold jersey against Cork in 1998. What service he's given to this great county of Kerry. Well, now that certainly looked like a throw from here. That looked like a pick up off the ground by Paul Galvin. Sideline ball. Referee has blown his whistle.
Oh, he's changed his mind.
Changed his mind. Ball is in for as David Bourne. Gives it in a long ball. Good defending by Ray Kerry. John Miskela controls matters. Goes around. Then floats it into the path of Aidan Walsh. Leaves it for Donnacha O'Connor. Easily dispossessed. Killian Young has to go all the way back to try and get it for his Anthony Marr. Cork with possession. Kieran Sheehan along the far over sideline. Under a little bit of pressure, needs support immediately. Daniel Goulding is well marked. Ball makes its way back there as Aidan Walsh. Can Turk star just on this occasion, drives it wide. That is 6 wides for Cork in this match so far. Fintan Gould is coming on for Cork, and the player that's going off is Donnacha O'Connor. Son of Leo Gould and nephew of Coleman Corrigan, former Cork stars. Ball is kicked out quickly by Brendan Keelan. 3 points between the teams. Just about 12 minutes left here in Fitzgerald Stadium. O'Sullivan, Killian Young to Paul Galvin. Declan O'Sullivan's gone for the return pass. Still Galvin retaining possession. Daniel Goulding comes in to challenge. Lays it off first to Tomas O'Shea. And back into an attacking mood. Dropping this one in. It's aim for the star. Here comes Donaghy. Breaks down. John Miskela under pressure from Donnacha Walsh. Alan Quirk spots his right half forward available. Pierce O'Neill. Is it a throw? It is.
Is it?
Let's double check. It looked initially, let's see, is there an underhand movement?
I think it's a fist pass he was actually trying, so whether it's underhand or overhand or sideways or whatever you're having yourself, it doesn't particularly matter, but I suppose maybe he did move it with the left hand, the holding hand. So hard to say.
Colm Cooper going for his 3rd point, and he got it. Just initially looked like it was going a little bit astray there. 2 points between the teams. We're heading to the 60th minute, 10 to go. It's one of those games where a goal either way would surely decide.
Yeah, a goal would be absolutely crucial in this game, there's no doubt. Scores are hard enough come by. Very interesting that Kieran Sheehan hasn't, I haven't him down for anything, he hasn't got on the score sheet at all. I was expecting a bit more on the scoring front from him.
5 other forwards, in fact, as you highlighted, have scored. And Kieran still has 10 minutes to register his first. Donnacha Walsh is going off, and Barry John Keane is coming on. Barry John Keane's grandfather was John Dowling, great footballer in his day. And of course the Dowling sisters were great basketball players. In fact, Mary is married to former Kerry footballer Jimmy Deanahan. And Barry John Keane is a very good footballer. Saw him with his club, Kilnarallies. He's lightning fast. If he gets the ball, he's quite dangerous. Sideline ball, quickly taken into the path of Alan O'Connor. What about this? Oh, brilliant save by Brendan Keeley. And Keeley is almost knocked out. He's still on the ground. He's getting to his feet eventually. But full credit to the goalkeeper.
But the man beside him, I think it was Kieran Sheehan. Oh,
here comes Aidan Walsh. This is the moment, and Keeley saves again. Drama in Fitzgerald Stadium, Killarney. In the space of 60 seconds, this man has rescued his county from not 1 but 2 certain goals. Magnificent.
The umpires actually waved that one wide, the Aidan Walsh one, so maybe there wasn't contact. I was sure he did make it. Well, not that ball should have been just thrown across for the goal chance. What do we see here? Oh, he's dead right.
It looked initially.
Yeah. It looked like it, all right. He got some belt from the Alan O'Connor blockbuster, all right. Must have got around the head area.
Well, he certainly had a goal opportunity here. The pass to Tommy Griffin was terrible.
Oh, he scuffed it.
Oh, he scuffed it badly,
Yeah.
yes. He'll be disappointed because he had his chances.
He's really got to curl that to the far post when he's coming at it. Easy set, of course. 1-on-1.
Doesn't take away from the first save by Brendan Keeley, because this was
brilliant.
point blank from Alan O'Connor. Here's a man who scored a goal for Cork in the All-Ireland final last year. Colm O'Neill, who's coming on for Daniel Goulding, who scored 3 points in this match. Can he do it again? Can he rattle the back of the net like he did last September?
You see this, there's a player to his left. I think it's Kieran Sheehan, and he's really got to draw that play over to his left. He's got a 2-on-1, certainly a 2-on-2, but a little hop to the left there, more composure. I mean, he can't be just trying to drill it down his throat. He's not going to score like that.
Well, Donncha Walsh had a chance against Alan Quirk. Alan O'Connor had a chance against Brendan Keeley. They were both at the goalkeeper straight on, but more importantly, they saved them. Overcarrying, too many steps. Going to be a free for Kerry. Corey Greedy is coming on for Kerry. And the player that's going off is left half back, Killian Young.
It's them all done now, isn't it? That's all 5 on. No more options.
Colm Cooper. Overlap provided by Mike McCarthy. Graham Canty. It was a terrible pass from McCarthy, but Canty has lost it. Here comes Pierce O'Neill. Gets it out far as Aidan Walsh. Goes down this particular wing. Gathered by Kieran Sheehan. Under pressure from Tommy Griffin. Ball comes free for as Paul Galvin. Hit a hefty shoulder by Aidan Walsh. Galvin can take that sort of pressure. David Moore. Anthony Marr. That sort of challenge is illegal by Pádraig Hassan, so it's going to be a free for Kerry.
There's a bit of tempo in it now, Marty. Every ball is fairly vital.
We're going to have, I'm pretty sure, an exciting 7 minutes. Plus added time for any injuries. Here's Colm Cooper. Here's Keane. Difficult enough angle. The umpires are happy enough to wave that one wide.
Kerry forwards aren't that happy. Donaghy went after him. Harry John himself thought he might have got it, but I think that was the correct decision. Looked wide for me. With a pretty good view of here.
Over 10 minutes since Cork scored. It's a long time. 5 for Kerry. By the way, Barry John's effort was the first wide of the second half for the Kingdom. Well won. Quinton Gould gets it down towards Kieran Sheehan. Pádraig Hassan. Gone into a forward position is John Miskela. Sheehan once more. Sending it along the surface. Picked up off the ground by Colm O'Neill.
A good few of those in this match, actually. Pick up. You got to bend your back. You have to put your foot somewhere near it. The refs are watching it very carefully.
Another substitute coming on in a moment for Cork. Here's Corey Greedy. Loses control. Sideline ball for Cork. 5 minutes left in Killarney. Michael Shields. Jamie O'Sullivan comes from left corner back. Under pressure from Colm Cooper. Gives away a simple ball. Mark O'Shea looking around for somebody available. Gives it to Brother Tomas. Fouled. Free for Kerry. Change again. This is Derek Kavanagh who's coming on. And the player that's going off is Alan O'Connor. So a change at centre field for Cork with just over 4 minutes to go. Ball is given in long towards Kieran Donaghy. John Miskela being told by his goalkeeper and indeed Ray Carey to let it off, John. That's what he does.
There's been a great battle between Jamie O'Sullivan and the Gooch all day, Marty. For a guy that was making his debut, he stuck to his task. The Gooch has done his business as usual as well. He's been very, very dangerous. But credit O'Sullivan. That's a serious player he's marking.
Kick out from Alan Kearns, goes straight to Colm Cooper. John Paul Keane taps it over the bar. Barry John Keane from Kieran O'Rahilly's in the town of Tralee. Kick out was not a great one. Colm Cooper spotted that Barry John had gone inside, and he did well.
A draw?
1 point between.
What about a draw, Marty?
I nearly would fancy it, Kevin.
There's a history of it around these parts.
3 draws in Killarney since 2002. Are we about to have a 4th? Declan O'Sullivan comes down for his Mike McCarthy. Under 21 All-Ireland medalist back in 1998. 3 times an All-Star. Anthony Marr dropping this one in towards Kieran Donaghy. Cork under a little bit of pressure. Once again it's Daniel Goulding, Fintan Gould rather, that's there, and he kicks the ball out over the sideline. Sideline ball for Kerry.
That's the best he could do in the circumstances under awful pressure.
Mike McCarthy on for his Anthony Marr, under pressure, maiden watch, twists and turns. Is this the moment for Kerry? They just have the self-belief. Anthony Marr from Duke in County Kerry brings this match level for the 3rd time. The first in the second half, twice in the first, once in the second, and we are approaching the 69th minute of the match.
Well, that's championship standard, I can assure you that. There's an awful lot of pressure on that kick. Minutes left only, and Marr swings left, swings right, puts it back and over. Terrific point.
Is it going to be a replay? Or is this going to find somebody with the character to produce the winning score? Cork led at the break, 8 points to 6. 69 minutes and 20 seconds. Cork look for a winner.
O'Neill.
It's Colm O'Neill, the man who scored the goal last September in Croke Park. Is he going to grab the headlines tomorrow? He's only just introduced. He made the space. He had the confidence to have a lash, and Cork are in front by 1.
As Derek Kavanagh went in, I think it was Tommy Griffin having a word with the referee. He pushed him out of the way. That's handbags, really. Need an equaliser at this stage, not a discussion in the middle of the field.
3 minutes of additional time to be added on. Plenty of time for the Kingdom of Kerry to get an equaliser. There's nobody leaving Fitzgerald Stadium. Paul Galvin, jersey pull by Paul Kerrigan. There's a few words exchanged, but it won't matter a hoot to Paul Kerrigan.
Cynical stuff though. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's called tactical fouling. He can pick up the yellow because there's no problem. He's on 1. He's running down the clock. He's frustrating Galvin.
Yellow card for Paul Kerrigan. Here's Galvin. Tommy Griffin. Tomas O'Shea on one of these crossfield runs again. Try and create the space somehow. Back outside towards Tommy Griffin. He's the full back as Kerry go forward in numbers. Corey Grady sending it in low towards Colm Cooper. Coming in to challenge Paddy Kassan. And the referee has blown his whistle and he's given a free to Kerry and to Colm Cooper.
Well, let's see that one again. Wouldn't backs be aware that they just can't under any circumstances give a free away here? Is that a free? This is what we were talking about last night and earlier. The amount of handy frees that are going in this year's championship is unbelievable. With the head down with the gooch. Boring, I don't know.
It's a real test of character. Very difficult angle. It's Colm the Goose.
Brilliant.
Fantastic footballer, Colm Cooper. You talk about pressure. of a championship game to survive and force it perhaps to a replay. Level for the 4th time. It's Cork and Kerry once again in Fitzgerald Stadium, enthralling not just the people of Cork and Kerry, enthralling the province of Munster and nationwide. They are, and proven to be, the best 2 teams in Ireland last year, and once again they produced a real battle in the heart of the Kingdom of Kerry. Now Kerry have the momentum. 72 minutes played in this match, and can they produce a winner here? Declan O'Sullivan going past the 45. Drama in Fitzgerald Stadium. Brian Sheehan, he's already scored 6 times. Is that a free? Corey Hughes is watching, he's about to blow his whistle, and he's going to give a throw ball.
Well, throw balls, I don't know, they're kind of a bit of a chickening out decision.
Kieran Donaghy up for this, has to get possession. Gathered instead by Pierce O'Neill. The referee has blown his whistle, and it is level.
Over. It's all over too.
In Fitzgerald Stadium. Kerry 15 points, Cork 15 points, and the referee has blown his whistle. It looks like the end. It said in the match programme that this was going to have extra time, but because it's a Munster Championship semi-final, and because it is a semi-final, we believe that it's going to replay.
Yeah, we discussed this before, and I think there's no extra time at provincial semi-final, I think.
The players are walking off. Michael Shields having a word with Jamie O'Sullivan. They were level altogether 4 times in this match, and perhaps the fairest result is in fact a draw.
Yeah, probably is on reflection. I think Cork will be annoyed that it's gone to a draw, though. That free, the Gooch, brilliant pressure, but was it a free? I'd have to look at it again. It was in the handy category.
Well, you can see down on the sideline there is a debate, because Jack O'Connor is having a word with Pádraig Hughes, and I think he's just been informed by the referee that there is no extra time. He did say it on the match programme here in Killarney, but we did check it beforehand, and our information is that this is going now to a replay. And I don't think the Kerry players, and indeed some of the Cork players, realised what exactly the right information was.
It's just come out on the PA. It's going to a replay. Obviously, Cork agreed. I think the teams are just warming down now at this stage.
And the crowd of 35,782 are looking at their match programmes, and very few of them are actually leaving Fitzgerald Stadium. So slightly confusing. Dr. Khan has a word with Conor Coonahan, no doubt debating about whether or not it is going to a replay. But as I say, I'm pretty sure that this is in fact heading to Páirc Uí Chaoimh. When and where, I'm sure we're going to tell you here later on. And Jack O'Connor, having been told by the referee that there is no extra time, is indeed gathering his players around and telling them all. You can see the Cork footballers are doing their warm down and thinking about what has been and their chances, because they certainly had their chances, haven't they, Kevin?
Yeah. And the draw, you know, I had a bit of a look of it with 10-15 minutes to go. There was a lot of matches this weekend. I thought myself might end in draws, none to date, and this one had the look of it from early enough in the second half.
Colm Cooper, the hero of the hour. Very difficult kick, wasn't it?
Oh, brilliant. Don't take anything away from the kick. It was fantastic kick, but I'd have a big concern whether it was a free or not.
Well, I'm sure that's going to be debated about for some time. They were level in this Munster Championships 4 times overall, 8 points to 6 at the break in favour of Cork, and at the end of 73 minutes, Cork and Kerry have to do it all again for the 4th time in the Munster Championship since 2002.